I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my creative healing course is filled with hours of exclusive content. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about my ex vanished.
My.
You know, Margaret.
It's got to be hard.
It is awful. When you think about somebody that you love just completely kind of disappearing on you.
Right.
You know, like a Dear John letter.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen before. You come home, your stuff is gone, they've moved. You were on a...
Awful that must be.
You go on a trip, you come back, they're just gone, they didn't tell you. I've seen quite a bit of that. And, you know, it's just devastating that somebody can go from this long-term committed relationship and you really love them and care about them, and then they just kind of like walk away and just disappear like almost out of nowhere. And
with no warning. So you can't even figure out what happened.
Yeah, and you're just feeling just horrible. It's just such a painful thing to go through.
Terrible.
And I have a good email coaching here that I thought was interesting, an interesting story that I thought might help you guys. So this is from a couple in their late 20s, and they were together for about 3 years and lived together for about 2 years, right? So this was a woman's email coaching with me. And she said, I moved to another state for a job promotion, and he had a past with drugs and went to live with his grandma. Things went really well for the first year and a half. He has a young daughter that even called me her stepmom. When we started fighting, he wanted space or would get angry, and I would feel like I was losing him forever and go after him.
Oh, so she'd kind of chase him.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure he thought was smothering.
Yep. Yeah. Then I would proceed to cry, and he would literally feel like he was trapped and wanted to leave. So that sounds like the anxious avoidant trap going on there.
Yes, it does. She's anxious, he's avoidant.
Mm-hmm, which we see all the time.
Yep.
So we know how this story goes a lot of times, right?
Yeah, we do.
He even has left a couple of times to his grandma's to cool off. I would beg him not to go. He had trouble controlling his anger and used pot all day to mellow himself. So, stuff's going on there for him.
Stuff's going on there. And she says he has a past drug history, which I would guess is not just pot.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'd all be amazed if we knew how many people in this country or on Earth stay mellow by smoking pot all day.
Yeah. And the anger issue makes me think that he may have had some trauma in his childhood.
He's pretty angry about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
and
said,
he's worried about it, which is why he smokes all the pot. Yeah.
And so that's how he's found a way to cope with it.
Yeah.
Okay. I had insecurities from my previous marriage. My ex-husband had cheated on me for 9 months. I would often check Herman's phone. His name isn't Herman, but Margaret liked the name.
I do.
I do myself. I would often check Herman's phone and ask him who he was texting. This hurt him. Early in July, I went home to visit my family. We talked about how much we couldn't wait to see each other and how much we loved each other. So they had that space from each other and they started really missing each other again. See? We got into it over text over a smart remark he said about my sister. I lashed back out about his family. I told him if he couldn't treat me with respect, he could leave the apartment. Boy, that escalated so quick.
Saying that to an avoidant, not a good idea.
This is why you have to work on your own issues and your own emotional self-control and not letting your anger or what other feelings you have override how you're logically going to react in a relationship, because look at how quick this escalated.
Yep.
I mean, one comment and she says, "If you're not going to treat me with respect, get out." And he says,
Okay.
Okay. Now everybody's devastated, right?
Sure.
He responded with, "I will gladly." And I told him to leave his key and get out.
And he did, I bet.
He did. We frequently said stuff like this to each other. See, this wasn't even a one-time thing.
It's a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to work through these issues. This is why I did workbooks. This is why I did the course. It's not just about no contact. It's about what you do during this time to heal yourself. And, you know, that's why we have so much content about this, to help you grow. Because if you go back and do these changes again, he's just going to say, you know what, this is just going to be more of the same. I can't do this, right? The rest of my time there, I didn't hear from him and figured we would work it out when I got home. When I got home, all his stuff was gone. Oh,
that must be awful.
God, horrible.
I used to work with a guy that happened to. He was a mess 2 years later. Yeah. How could you do that to me?
Yeah. I can't even imagine how horrible that would be. Just devastating. I mean, that feeling, could you imagine coming home and everything's gone?
No.
Ugh. I called him once, no answer. His mom and his sister, no answer. I texted him to please call me, no response. I went to his work in the morning, and his coworker told me he came in and quit early yesterday morning and told him he was moving to another state to work at a different place. You can imagine how horrible this would feel to be in her shoes.
I can't imagine. And she's anxious to top it off. So it'll be even worse.
I knew he went to live with his sister and work with his sister's fiance. His family had been trying to get me to relocate there. I was unsure since it's a rural area and I have a career in sales. His sister had asked me to be in her wedding. After I came home, she texted me that it hurt her, but she thought it was best I was no longer in her wedding.
Yeah, it would be awkward.
Yeah. On his daughter's birthday, he had her FaceTime me. He still had been logged into his email on my phone, and a week after he left, he made a Tinder account.
Not a good sign, right?
That's horrible. On top of everything else, on top of just vanishing and leaving, now you've made a Tinder account a week later.
Yeah.
You can only imagine. Should I keep doing no contact or reach out? I miss him and love him so much. Thanks so much.
Oh, she's had a terrible time.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel for this woman. This is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, and she's probably beating herself up because...
I'm sure she thinks it's her fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I hadn't said this, if I hadn't said that.
Yeah. It was both of you that was responsible for the way you communicated and treated each other.
Absolutely. Just that last conversation is problematic.
Yeah.
I attack you. Yeah. You attack me, I attack you back. Doesn't work.
Yeah. I would not reach out to him. No. You've already reached out to him, the mother, the sister, the coworker, and he's not reaching out. He did reach out for the daughter's birthday. Okay? So, to me, that's a good sign.
I think so, too. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Because it shows that he cares about the daughter and her relationship.
And her feelings, absolutely.
So that's a good sign. That, to me, is probably the best sign out of everything here. Yeah. But obviously, him getting on Tinder is just, brutal.
Well, it's right in her face, too.
Yeah.
And, we've often heard that people will get into a short-term relationship right after breaking up. If you're avoidant, it's extremely tempting.
Yep.
Because you can get into a casual relationship that doesn't ask anything of you.
Yep. So, I would not reach out. I would let him reach out to you when he's ready. You've already made numerous attempts to repair this, and he has to make an effort here. You simply can't do it all by yourself. Two people have to choose each other and choose to make it work. And I know you miss him and you love him, and it hurts. I do. You just have to see if he wants to give this another go. And in the meantime, you really got to work through your own issues, because he's going to continue to trigger you. He's going to continue to be avoidant, and you need to know how to handle him. I think you need to have different expectations of him and what he can give in a relationship. And if you don't want to be with somebody that can give what he can give, you don't have to be with him, right? If you're not getting your needs met from this guy, you don't have to stay with him. You could always find other people. And you should consider that. You should consider that.
But it sounds like you were chronically anxious that he was going to leave you, right?
Yes, I agree.
Therefore, the phone business and all of that.
To me, showing that he's recognizing the daughter's birthday in the FaceTime thing, that's a good sign for me, because
yeah, I agree.
It's a special day. He contacted her. The daughter was probably asking about her. The daughter is younger. Let's say elementary school.
Yeah.
And so that's a good sign for me. So let him reach out, and when he does, you know, you need to think about how you're going to interact with him and take it slow, because I think both of you could get so overwhelmed very quickly in this situation.
By each other, yes. Yeah. And remember, too, that he's avoidant. And oftentimes, if you reach out to an avoidant, they see it as more of an intrusion than a reach out.
Yep.
Okay?
And she's already reached out so many times
Right.
that I think at some point she's just got, okay, I got to give him the space.
And he has to make a decision.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
He does have to make a decision, and he needs time to do that. And in the meantime, you continue to learn about your issues. You continue to think about what didn't work in the relationship. You continue to think about how you can grow. Can he meet your needs? Is this really good for you long term? Is the relationship healthy enough to give it a go? And take it from there.
Is he healthy enough to give it a go? Are both of you healthy enough to give it a go?
And that's a great point right there, because we know he was doing a lot of weed,
Yeah.
and he's got anger issues, which
Yeah.
to me says
Yeah.
more serious events in his
Something
childhood.
was not okay when he was growing up. And I think she said he had a past drug history, which I would guess is more than pot.
Yeah.
So everybody needs to deal with their issues, and then if you want to try again, okay.
Yep.
But let him feel the consequences of his decision.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would agree. See what he does. I wouldn't be surprised if he reaches out to you. You know, I think he'll need several months.
I agree.
But don't just desperately hang on to hope here and ignore that he has some serious issues, that he's got things that he's got to deal with and talk about and
Right.
heal in order for you guys to have a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
Okay?
But it sounds like she's just devastated.
Yeah.
If you can find somebody to talk to, that might be really helpful for you.
I agree.
Yeah.
A good therapist would be
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah. And you want to get to the bottom of where your anxiety is coming from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully you found this one helpful. And of course, if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. And of course, Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel I can be helpful to you, please sign up.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth,
I'm Coach Margaret.
and we will talk with you soon.